I'm Dale from Dale's Gig Reviews and Metallaville Online Magazine, and you are the Despot Marko Miranović.
Yes, perfectly. Marco, yes. Hello. Sorry one more time. There were some technical issues there, so
Yes, don't worry, it's absolutely fine. Your English is a million times better than my Serbian, but I have learnt Zdravo. Is that correct?
yes, draw. Yes, yes, that's correct. Sorry, speak and pause. Do you hear a replay? Yes. Just a second. I need just to fix some things. Just a second.
Okay.
It's the halo effect, so to say here. So just a second, just to check it out. Why is this happening? Oh, I'm just, hearing myself two times. Nevertheless, if that, it does not make any sense to you, for me, it's okay.
Oh, no worries, I can hear you absolutely fine. So in your band, you've got Serjan Brankovic, Balint Kameni. I think I've pronounced that all
No, no, no,
correctly.
no. Okay, let me explain. Surgeon is in the band, Surgeon is the main composer.
Yeah,
And he's Surgeon's main composer and everything, he's playing guitars, keyboards, or bass player, is composing all the music, if you get what I mean. So that's the issue, so to say.
yeah. So I've listened to the new album because I've reviewed it, and it's extremely good. I've really enjoyed it. I do hear a lot of influences from that band behind me, Saxon, Sabaton. You can hear that in some of the music. What are your influences?
Uh, well, I have to say, Surgeon is composing the music.
Yeah.
When it comes to influences of Surgeon, I would like to say, there are Maiden influences, as you can, check out, especially in the songs like Aerial, Stealer of Souls, Stormbringer here and there, and many other songs actually. Also, there are influences from Rhapsody. Look at really Rhapsody, yeah. Then there are influences from the 90s black metal bands, the surgeon like Coven, etc. Immortal. You can hear these influences in songs like the Nine, for example, or Bewitched Seas, black metal songs, which were actually Númenor started as a black metal band, if you get what I mean. And with the first album was symphonic black metal actually, and some influences from At the Gates as well. And maybe you have heard this rumor, so to say, that we will now separate two bands. One band will Numenor stay with more heavy and power metal influences, and there will be Draconis, the other band, which will continue in the black metal way.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Songs The Nine, Bewitched Seas, maybe Stronghold. Also from the previous albums, you can always track our black metal influence.
yeah, because to me, listening to the new stuff, it's like the new wave of British heavy metal meeting black
Yes,
metal.
yes.
It's like an infusion. You listen to the older stuff, and it's a lot heavier. The singing is a lot more um, like really gravelly and grungy, sort of, hard to. It's a heavy sound.
Yes, actually, okay. Now Alexander is in the band. The guy that you
Yeah,
can hear in the songs like Ariel and I don't know, Stealer of Souls, Stormbringer, Morgana Le Fay as well. And
yeah,
if you like, for example, these songs, he's a very popular guy here in Serbia. He is playing Orthodox Celts. They're, this is nothing to do with the metal at all, they're playing
yeah,
on the beer fest, these kind of things. So the band is actually, he's very popular here, just like Hansi from Blind Guardian in Germany, for example. And he's very influenced with Iron Maiden, old Iron Maiden, from the
yeah.
80s. And I think that you can easily hear that.
Yeah. You can, especially a lot of the guitars in the new album, a lot of the guitar music. I was like, "Ooh, like that," because I'm a massive Maiden fan, so
Yeah,
I
I
really
mean,
really enjoyed that.
yeah, I mean, we all love Iron Maiden, but especially I have to say, Alexander loves Maiden, and Surgeon also was raised on the Maiden, and he's the main composer, if you get what I mean. Of
Yeah,
course, I also love Iron Maiden, but I have to say one interesting thing, I even more like Bruce Dickinson solo albums. I don't
yeah,
know why, but maybe because I was raised later, so to say, when Dickinson started to, doing his solo stuff. And even today, maybe because I'm more into extreme metal, like black metal, etc. But I really like Bruce Dickinson solo albums.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
the
I
first
was lucky enough
cassette
to
that
meet.
I bought when I was, very little, 12 years old at that time, Balls to Picasso was released. This was the first cassette, tape that I ever got from Maiden or Bruce Dickinson. It was actually Balls to Picasso, which is actually very interesting, stuff. So I always love his, like Tyranny of Souls, for example, of Chemical Weddings. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of Bruce Dickinson, one could say. They're
Yeah,
more into Iron Maiden. Of course, I'm quite a lot into Iron Maiden, etc. So, but they are really, Alexander is really, as he's older than us, and he's really into Iron Maiden, for example, if you get what I mean.
yeah. Well, last year I was lucky enough to meet Bruce Dickinson, Blaze Bailey, and Paul Di'Arno, and I met Paul Di'Arno 2 months before he died. So I was very lucky. And I've since interviewed Blaze Bailey and met him several times, and he's a really lovely bloke. But I love Iron Maiden. It's fantastic. But also running through your music, there's a lot of Lord of the Rings references, a lot of Lord of the Rings songs like the Nine, and even your name Númenor is inspired from the Lord of the Rings. Are you a Lord of the Rings fan?
Yeah, I have to say actually that I was raised on the British literature, so to say, when I was a kid, during the 80s, 90s, sorry, here in Serbia, there was not so much books actually. And Lord of the Rings and Tolkien were the obvious choice, so to say, to start, and Bram Stoker as well, with the Dracula.
Yeah.
So British literature, one could say, in various types, but this is like that. And also, I do love Murkoch as well. If you get what you have a lot of influences from Murkoch, and Alexander also loves Murkoch. We have this trilogy which start, like Ario, Stealer of Souls, Stormbringer. There is a song called Tunnelorn as well with Thomas Rickson from Therion. So on this album, one could say, that there are even more influences from coming from Murkoch than from Tolkien, if you get what I mean. But yeah, I was raised on Tolkien, Bram Stoker, later Murkoch, which Murkoch was also translated here, during back in the 80s when there was a Yugoslavia here, so everything was much huger, so to say, etc. So yeah, British literature and British authors, so to say, even British bands, one would say.
I've got behind me the Hobbit book.
I
Um,
see, I see.
I've, I've got my. This is the Lord of the Rings cartoon.
Perfect. Ooh, I really love it, with the
Yeah,
Bakshi from 17. Correct.
I've lost your sound.
Sorry?
Oh, you're back again. Your sound went then.
Sorry. Uh, well,
Yeah.
I said the
No,
cartoon
don't
from the
worry.
Bakshi.
Say that again.
Cartoon from the Bakshi. Bakshi was creator of this cartoon, if I'm correct.
Yes, yes, that's correct.
Bakshi.
Yeah, yeah. As you'll see with my big
Wow,
movie
yeah, this is the
poster.
original poster. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
original poster. Yeah,
yes.
that's
Because I was interviewing Jesse Hughes from Eagles of Death Metal, and he's actually got film cells from the cartoon on his wall. I was very jealous.
Hey, I have to say that I really like this cartoon than the movies.
Yes. Yeah, fantastic. I'm like you can tell, I'm a huge fan.
I don't know. I never liked so much these movies. I know that they have quite a lot of impact. There's no question about that. But on the other hand, I never liked. I mean, I like them, but not maybe the first one was, Fellowship of the Ring was better, but later, I don't know. Always there was a distance between me and this, but when it comes to cartoon, I really loved it. It has this special feeling, and you can catch up with the cover artworks of Numenor. They're always, like 80s.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm going to say is the artwork, Draconian Age, which is another heavy album. The artwork is it Dobrozov Zikovic or Bob, as he's
Bob,
known. He did
just
the
call him
artwork. Just
Bob.
call him Bob. The
Well,
artwork for that is brilliant. I'm going to have to go out and buy it just for that artwork.
no, this is original cover artwork for the Lord of the Rings books during the 80s here in Yugoslavia, actually.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's yeah. Like I say, I listened to the album. Um, you have a different sort of lyrics at the first singing at the first few albums. It's very heavy, but then you start getting this clearer vocal, clearer singing, and it's changed your music from being heavy to being a bit more marketable, if that makes sense.
But yeah, one could say that. One could say that, and now, yeah, I think this is like a natural development. One could also track this in many other bands as well, I
Yeah,
think. This is quite natural, but maybe it depends also from the inspiration that we got. Now, since we are going to separate two bands, maybe in the very near future, but I
yeah,
think that we will continue in this way. Traditional heavy metal with a blend of some black and death metal influences, because that makes Numenor, I think, more unique and more original in the scene, which is preoccupied, to be honest, with the bands. It's even for me, it's very too hard to follow the scene at all. For example, from the previous year, I like 5, 6 albums, and that's all. Like I like Bruce Dickinson, and here, some few records, and it's very hard, to be original. I think I was speaking with Hansi Kirsch, and he said, Marco, you always need to have this more black or death note in the Numenor, because that's make band different from the other bands.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that. Um, so. On your Tales from the Edge album, which is your 2023 album, your sixth studio album, you've got Chris Rowland, Jens Carlson, Charles Wright, I can't say that one, but we'll leave that one from
Rikkonen,
Lefay.
Rikkonen, Charles Rikkonen from Morgana Le Fay, old Swedish band.
That's right. Christian Eriksson from Final Strike and Emil Norberg from Persuader. They're all Swedish. So all of a sudden you've gone to like the Swedish side of the Nordic black metal. You've dragged them out of the forest and got them all on your album.
Yeah, I think you know that because when we recorded this tribute to Blind Guardian, Mark Frostenas actually was working on me on the book from the Blind Guardian. You know that we are working with Hansi on the book and biography. Some separate, notes have been already released on Two Blind Guardian re-release records, so to say. Imagination and Sound Far Beyond. So you can always check out, how this book will be. Mark Frostness is the main guy who is writing the biography, so to say. He's an editor. So he's from Sweden, and Blind Guardian was always very big in Sweden. So he met me with these guys, or maybe I met them, just suddenly, and then we started to work together, and I was really a huge fan of some of these bands when I was younger, like Morgana Le Fay, for example. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was really a pleasure to work with them. So maybe this Blind Guardian tribute, Tales from the Edge of Time, was release, much before the book. We think, we thought at that time that it should be released at the same time, but it was released, before the book. I'm not able to tell you when the book is going to. We just met with Hansi Kirsch a month
Yeah.
ago here, 2 months ago. We discussed about maybe something like this next year, but still, it's ongoing process. It's more complex, so to say. So maybe there is going to be a second part of this Blind Guardian tribute. I really don't know.
Yeah. You also worked with the German singer Hansi Kirch a few times, and he's also Blind Guardian Gamma Ray. So you've gone from Sweden now to Germany.
Yeah, well, I have to say, during the 90s, I was raised on Blind Guardian at that time, Shellovin, even some Grave Digger stuff, Gamma Ray as well, all this older stuff from which were actually they were very inspired by Maiden at that time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it really works well in that album. The new album, we already mentioned
It's
Alexander Celtic Petrovic from the Orthodox Celts, and you got Hansi Kirch again. You've got Thomas Wikström from Therion. They're all involved in your new album.
Mhm.
So is this now going to be a running theme because you haven't done really much collaboration up until the 2023 album, and now this new album you're doing a lot more collab again. Is that how it's going to be for the future?
Well, I have to say, I really don't know because at one point, because there were so many people involved, Sergeant and I, we were really, stuck in the mud, so to say. So we needed when Alexander has joined the band, this was
Yeah,
like a relief, you can
yeah.
say. And the next album, we were like, okay, we are going to make it simple. So maybe only Alexander, me, and maybe one guest vocalist. I will not say who will be that, or maybe two, but that's all because we have so much connection, so we can choose between some. But we will not do this again. It's too much complicated.
Well, you've got on which song is it? Sorry, just one second. I've got my notes here. I've got
Of
there
course.
we are on Chronomancer. The sound at the start, it's got this creepy music and what sounds like a theremin. The Poland you play with the airwaves around the,
Something like
and it
that,
does
yeah.
like this creepy horror sound. And that's at the beginning. I'm assuming that's been recorded and added on, and you've not actually played the theremin.
Sorry, if you can repeat one more time the question.
All right. The
Uh-huh.
the song Chronomancer.
Yes.
Um, Back in there's this. It's a box with a pole on it, and it does airwaves, and you run your hand across it, and it makes creepy sounds.
To be honest, I don't really know because
The reason
Surgeon
why I
was,
mention it, yeah, the reason why I mention it is because your idol, my idol, Bruce Dickinson,
yes.
on his latest concert, the Mandrake project, he actually plays one on stage,
Uh-huh.
one of these theremins. So my suggestion is that I tag Bruce Dickinson into this interview, and when it goes out with Metallaville Online Magazine, and we'll tag Bruce Dickinson into it. Hopefully, he'll listen to your music and go, "I like that," and come along and probably sing with you in a collaboration on your future album and play a theremin and show you how to do it.
No, it will be, pleasure to work with him. As I said, very interesting thing that more Bruce Dickinson fun in a way than Iron Maiden, but yeah, 90s were very. I was very during the 90s, and 90s were very tricky to say. Even I have to say, I really like the X Factor as well album with the Blaze. And I would like also to maybe one day perform one song with the Blaze as well. Of course, Bruce Dickinson will be a perfect match, there's no question about that. well, I have already worked, and I will work with Hansi from Blind Guardian, which they are my favorite band, from the childhood, and
Yeah,
even so now. But to work with Chris Dickinson will be more than a dream come true.
yeah. Well, Blaze Bailey, he likes his collaborations, and he's a very good singer. And
Yeah,
he's sang on Absolver's one of Absolver's new songs. So you never know, with Blaze Bailey, we might be able to get that one to work as well.
yeah, Blaze is very nice guy, and I have to say that I really like the X Factor at that time. I think that it was my first Maiden full-length album. Before that, I got only some compilations, classical cassette compilations, etc. And I was just watching on MTV was a preview of when Vanessa Warwick, was doing the interview with Blaze and Paris as well from the 1995, uh, half hour. So just now I have watched it for the very first time. It was really nice, so to say.
Yeah. Well, I saw Blaze perform a week ago, and his voice has never sound better. He's absolutely at the top of his game. So, yeah, that's another one I'll be tagging into the interview for you.
Say hello to Blaze, and yeah, definitely, of course, Bruce Dickinson is a more than perfect chance, but Blaze is always welcome.
Yeah. So the other thing I've got to ask is, have you got any tours? Are you going to be touring for this new album? Are you going to be coming to the UK?
We never have a live gig so far. That's the And
You've
there
never
is
had a
so
live
many
gig?
questions about that when, of course, we would like to play certain great musicians, etc. I think there could be a show or two here in Belgrade, which is, of course, easier for us, for Alexander, since Alexander is now in the band. But we would like to play outside, but there should be some invitations. That's what I mean. So something more serious. So, if there are any invitations and, from Germany or from UK, from any other part of the Europe or the world, we are open, of course. There's no problem, there's no issue about that, but still there was not a single concert of Númenor, and I know there are many questions about that. It just happened.
Right. Well, fingers crossed that we can hope we can make that happen in the future. You can make it happen, and we can listen to Númenor on the big stage and how it should be sounding.
Yeah, I have to say, I always imagined Numenor in a smaller club, like 200
Yeah.
people or something like that, because I always love this smaller club atmosphere. Of course, I know Wacken or Summer Breeze because I spent summer days I spent in Germany on Wacken, Summer Breeze, Rock Hearts, and all these festivals. But I always like this indoors festival with, indoors atmosphere, with the clubs of 200, 300 people somehow. It's more
Yeah.
familiar for me.
Yeah, I like small venues just for the whole atmosphere is a lot better than what you'll get at a large festival at times, you know. But there are some smaller festivals where you can get that sort of atmosphere, which are good. Um, so that leaves me down to my last question, which is my partner Tracy. She gives me a question to ask everybody. It's tell me something about you that we don't know.
No, I don't know. To be honest, I'm a public figure here in Serbia, so there are lots of things that people know about me. It's not about the music. I always appear on TV speaking about fantasy literature and etc. So many people know me here, and I think that they know my interests and everything. So there, there are no secrets. And I share lots of stories. You can say even that I'm a small part influencer here. So people, just follow me on the stories and check out the music that I like, check out the books that I like, etc. So there is not this huge, line between my private life here and even in Germany and my public life. So,
Brilliant. Oh, right. So the new album is called Runes of Power,
yes.
and I gave a review of it, and my suggestion is to the people who see this interview is that if you like new wave of British heavy metal, and if you like some of the darker um, power dark metal, you probably enjoy this sort of music. And if you love Lord of the Rings, you're going to be very happy.
Yeah, and Murkoc as well. I think that there are lots of Murkoc fans in metal scene, and there are also lots of bands actually.
Yeah, yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So check out your album, check out Runes of Power. It's very good. I enjoyed it. So thank you very much for giving me your time,
Much
and
thanks.
good luck. Yeah, good luck with it.
Until the next time, all the best.
All
Bye.
the best. Ta-ra, bye.